All right, Sydney Sweeney. We're going to be looking at her nighttime skincare routine, the famous actress, most notably from Euphoria. We're going to see the products that she's using, and I'm going to give you my opinion as a dermatologist, if these are good products or bad products, and if I would recommend that you use them in your skincare routine. So we're going to go through each step, break down the products, and talk about them. If you're new to the channel, I'm Dr. Dustin, board certified dermatologist, and I love to talk about skincare and all things to do with your health. So hit that follow button if you'd like to stay on top of those topics. Let's dive into Sydney's routine.
Hey, it's Sydney Sweeney, and I'm going to share with you guys my nighttime skincare routine.
I always clip my hair back too.
Then I've always had a really hard time finding a good facial cleanser that works for me. When I was in high school, I always went through either exfoliating way too much or I ended up just washing my face with water for many years because I kept breaking out and I felt like it was the cleanser and it wasn't. It was just other products that I was using. And I finally found a facial cleanser that is incredible for me. It is the LANEIGE Cream Skin Milk Oil Cleanser. I don't know if you can see. Ooh,
all right, so this is a common mistake that people make when cleansing is they either use too harsh of cleansers, they use them exfoliating way too much, or then they choose not to do anything. So she went through that process and now has settled on a milk oil cleanser from LANEIGE. I like the products from LANEIGE. They do tend to be a little bit more on the expensive side, and certainly she can afford it. She's actually an ambassador for the brand if you look on the LANEIGE website. And this is a good, gentle cleanser. So it's not going to be an exfoliating cleanser. And if she has a history of sensitive skin, this is a really good option. Now, if you don't want to spend that much, I've covered other gentle cleansers in some of my other videos, including some where I take people shopping in the store and we pick out the cleanser that's best for their skin type. So you can always check out those other videos on the channel, but let's watch her as she uses this cleanser and talks about her routine.
It's amazing. I take off all my makeup with it. So I actually put it on my face dry and I don't put water on my face first. I hope that's correct, but I just do like one or two pumps. I think I put it on my face dry because I read somewhere to do that once and then I just kept doing it and it worked.
All right, do you have to use water before you put a cleanser on your face? This is a common question, and some cleansers are designed to be put directly onto the face and then rinsed with water, which is what she does, whereas others really tend to work better. They foam and lather better if you add a little bit of water in your hands when you put them on. This one in particular, you can do it either way, and she has a good result. Obviously, she has beautiful skin, and she uses it in this manner, so that's okay to do, but I would always say read the directions on the bottle and use the product as intended.
And then I use lukewarm water to take it off. So
lukewarm water is perfect. You don't want too hot of water or it can dry your skin out.
I just pat it off. I used to scrub it off and someone told me that you should always pat your face.
I do think that's a good idea to pat your face dry rather than rub. That can be a little harsh on your skin. Reality is most people, that's not going to make a huge difference, but patting is proper technique if we're going to go that way.
Whenever I have eye makeup on, I do this thing and I don't know if it works or if it's right, but I use Vaseline to take the rest of my eye makeup off, and it also makes a repeat in my skincare journey later. When I was in middle school, I think I read somewhere that Vaseline's supposed to make your eyelashes grow. And so I used to lather my eyelashes and my eyebrows with Vaseline, and I don't know if it worked or not, but I realized it helped take my eye makeup off really gently.
Hold up. Vaseline making your eyebrows and your eyelashes grow, is that real or not? There's no product in Vaseline that would directly stimulate the growth of your eyebrows or your eyelashes, but it's a very gentle product, and some people do use it to take off eye makeup, so I don't have a problem with this step. But if you want to grow your eyebrows or your eyelashes, don't look to Vaseline to promote that growth. It's not going to do anything. But if you want it to help remove some of that eye makeup, almost like an oil cleanser, it'll help to break down some of that stuff, and then she gently wipes it away. Now, of course, there are specific eye makeup removers out there and cleansing balms, as long as they're nice and gentle, because you do want to be really careful about that skin around your eyelids. It's the most sensitive skin on your body, so you want to be very cautious about how you're removing makeup in that area.
Usually once a week, I try to do a facial peel because I have really terrible combination skin. So I get oily, dry, I get cystic acne, and if there's a lot of buildup on my face, I will break out more. So I will use this, I'm gonna pronounce it wrong because I pronounce everything wrong, but Dr. Dennis Gross, not quite sure.
Dr. Dennis Gross.
Universal Daily Peel. So there's two parts. The first one is like an exfoliate and smooth. So you do that and then you wait like 2 minutes. And then the next one is an anti-aging neutralizer. I don't know what it does. All I know is it helps my skin. And I just rub it.
So you rub that on, 2 steps with this peel.
And you just kind of use it until it feels like it's dry all the way. Sometimes I get these weird rashes around my mouth or my nose, and I cannot get them to go away for the life of me. I was getting them a lot during Euphoria, and I don't know if it was just because I was constantly wearing makeup and changing makeup, and or the weather was changing, but that was happening, and I started using these, and it helped it go away.
All right, so the rash that she is describing is called perioral dermatitis. She describes that it's happening around the mouth, these little bumps. That's classic perioral dermatitis. And some people consider that a form of rosacea. It does tend to happen in individuals with very sensitive skin, and there's a multitude of different causes for that. Sometimes it's a contact allergy to a product. Sometimes it's an irritation from using too much exfoliating products. Sometimes it can be from the makeup. It can be from fragrance. It can be from a host of different problems. And the gentle once-a-week exfoliation for some people will help to correct that problem because it's going to help remove some of that dirt, oil, bacteria that could lead to some of those problems. But you just don't want to be too aggressive when you have perioral dermatitis because you really need to focus on a healthy moisture barrier. Now, the peel pads that she's using from Dr. Dennis Gross are designed to be used daily, but if you have sensitive skin, I don't recommend any type of exfoliator used daily. But if you're exfoliating daily, I would not recommend using a separate retinol or other exfoliating or peeling product. Now, there is a second step in this peel set, and let's take a look at that one as she uses it.
I refuse to sleep in my makeup. Even if I am exhausted and I can't
Do not
keep
sleep
my
in your
eyes
makeup
open,
under any circumstances.
Number one rule I've always followed is never sleep with your makeup in. So we'll just wait a second, let my skin cool down.
So she's letting that peel kind of dry. It's a self-neutralizing peel. Higher strengths of glycolic acid tend to be neutralized. You need to put on a second solution or you need to rinse them off, but this is a low enough concentration of glycolic acid that it is essentially self-neutralizing. So she lets her skin cool down and she's going to move on to step 2. And I just love that she doesn't sleep with her makeup under any circumstances, no matter how exhausted she is. She has great skin and so far I'm loving the routine.
Okay, so then the second towelette is the anti-aging one. We shall see in 10 years if it works.
Hard to judge anti-aging when you're super young.
Okay, so you let that dry for a little bit.
So let's take a look at what is in the second peel. This is the anti-aging portion of the 2-step peel. And this is going to be retinol, retinoic acid, resveratrol, so a lot of antioxidants, and the retinol to help promote some of those genes in the skin that are going to reduce or to prevent fine lines, wrinkles, and pigmentation.
I always love using LANEIGE's Water Bank Blue Hyaluronic Serum. I love putting this as a base for any and all skincare because I think it just really nourishes my skin, and because I do typically get dry, I think it just helps neutralize everything. And I was recently in Albuquerque filming and it was so dry and I just needed anything and everything to moisturize my skin. So I started using this and I love it and it's really fun. You like twist it.
I like the packaging.
So then it doesn't spill everywhere in my luggage because I have a tendency to have that happen. So I just use a couple pumps.
Of the
and I put
hyaluronic acid
as
and just a thin layer
for this amazing device that I have found.
All right, so let's take a look at this hyaluronic acid serum that she's using. This is the Water Bank Blue Hyaluronic Acid Serum from LANEIGE. Again, she is an ambassador for the brand, but I do like this product. So hyaluronic acid is something that helps to bind moisture and help keep that on the top of the skin. Hyaluronic acid doesn't penetrate to deeper layers of the skin. The molecule size is too big for that, but you can get hyaluronic acid composed at different molecular weights and sizes, so some will be larger than others, and that can help to bind that water at different layers of the stratum corneum, the very top layer of skin, but it's not penetrating deeper than that. So LANEIGE has created this as a proprietary formula. They do have hyaluronic acid in the formula, obviously, but then there's a special moisturizing ingredient that is derived from algae, and that's where it gets the blue color. Now there's other brands, including La Mer, that use algae in their products. La Mer is, of course, super expensive. Not the most expensive. If you want to see that video where I break down the most expensive face creams, click on that card up there. But this is a really good hyaluronic acid product. She uses it all over, but then she does something a little different that most people aren't doing in their skincare routine. Let's see if this is good or bad, or maybe neither.
Always do on the neck.
Don't forget the neck.
Okay.
Always get the neck.
I put that on. And you want to make sure that you don't rub it in too much, because then I use this Solo Wave wand, and it's like a red light. If you see, it vibrates, and it's a red light therapy, and I try to use it every night for about 5 minutes, and I feel like it really helps even out my skin tone. And if I feel like I have a cystic acne pimple coming, it disappears. I might be telling myself that, but it works. So I do it on my cheeks, and then my forehead, and then my neck, and I use this as the base. You can use other serums, but I like using the LANEIGE's. So if I start to feel dry or the sticks, I add a little bit more serum, but we'll start here.
So she's using the Soul Wave LED therapy wand. It does vibrate a little bit.
I started using this during, when we were all locked down during quarantine, because I was trying to find things to just...
So do you need red light therapy in your routine? The short answer is no, but it can be a nice thing to add on. Don't look to red light to solve all your skin's problems. If you're not wearing a sunscreen every day, you're not exfoliating in some manner, whether it's a retinol or peel pads, if you're not using vitamin C in the morning, you're not going to see a ton of benefit from red light if you're not doing the other basic things. She's clearly doing all the right stuff in her skincare routine this far. And so the Soul Wave is not a terribly expensive device. I have it. I've used it. I'm not big personally on using skincare devices. I don't take the time to do that regularly in my skincare routine, but I do occasionally use red light therapy. I prefer the mask, so I can just put it on and maybe go about and do another activity while the mask is on, rather than have to take the time in front of the mirror to use a device like this. But this is a really popular device. As I mentioned before, it's not terribly expensive when we start talking about devices. For example, Dr. Dennis Gross has a mask for LED therapy that is close to $500, and that's definitely a lot more expensive.
I tried a lot of things during quarantine. I got really into face masks and bubble baths and a lot of Cassie's products from her skincare routine. Was my product. So my manic episode of skincare was also Cassie's manic episode of skincare. Alright, so once that is...
Again, she's not forgetting her neck. I do like that in her routine.
I move on to my moisturizers. So first I use LANEIGE's Water Bank Blue Hyaluronic Cream. This was everything in Albuquerque while I was filming. So I take it, rub it,
back to LANEIGE,
all over. Literally, the first time I used this, I woke up and I thought my skin was a baby's bottom. It was so soft. And because everyone's skin was so dry while we were filming, I ended up getting a bunch of their moisturizers and products for the rest of the cast and in the trailer for hair and makeup. And everyone started using them and becoming addicted, and I got them all hooked.
Don't forget the neck. All right, so let's take a look at this moisturizer. This is the Water Bank Blue Hyaluronic Acid cream moisturizer. This is a complement to the hyaluronic acid that she used. It's going to use that same filtration process and the fermentation with the algae and the hyaluronic acid, but it's going to be in a thicker base, so it does impart better hydration to the skin for longer. So I do like her moisturizing routine so far. First with the hyaluronic acid, now with the water cream. You're going to get a little bit longer effect from that, as I mentioned. Again, she is an ambassador for the brand, but I do think she's been using this stuff for a while.
I don't know if everyone comes to me for skincare advice, but I really like it.
And you have great skin. People come to you for skincare advice.
Because I feel like I've had such a journey with it, and I've learned, hopefully I've learned, and I'm still learning so much more. But there's no picture proof because I don't want it out there, but I used to have really, really bad skin. And I am so grateful and thankful that I don't have acne scars because I am a picker, and I dug into my face. I had terrible mounds everywhere, and I would make myself bleed.
It's pretty bad.
I could not figure out my skin for years and years until I was like 19, 20 years old.
So she went through a lot of trial and error when it came to skincare. She's been in and out of makeup as part of her career, so there's a lot of potential to aggravate the skin and cause acne. She admits to being a picker. Many of us are pickers. It's important to try to keep your hands off of your acne because you're going to be at increased risk of scarring if you start going down that road. She recovered well, she doesn't have scars, and her skin looks beautiful at this point.
So after the cream moisturizer, I use, oh, I already took the lid off, but the LANEIGE's water sleeping mask. So you put it on, and then in the morning, it just like soaks in, and then you wash it off.
Okay, so now she puts on the water sleeping mask, again from LANEIGE. She's really into this brand. And this one has mineral water in it, which can help to balance the skin's microbiome. And it's going to have a little bit of fragrance as well. So be careful if you're sensitive to fragrance. This may not be a great option for you, but this is kind of a boost of hydration on top of your regular moisturizer. For her regular moisturizer, she picked the Water Bank, but if you're using something else, you could still use this water sleeping mask, and it's going to just give you a little bit extra boost of hydration. You put it on, you go right to sleep at that point. So this is not the kind of thing you would use for a morning moisturizer, but it's great again for nighttime.
And I don't know if this is right, people are probably gonna judge me, but I actually use Vaseline as my under eye cream, and then if I'm feeling like I need to pick me up anywhere else and I'm really dry, I kind of put it everywhere else. So I just take a little bit of Vaseline and I put it under my eyes. I was finding that a lot of under eye creams or oils or whatever products were not working for me. Like, it would make my makeup sit strange, and I felt like my eyes were getting dry, or just, it wasn't right. And then I started doing this, and you guys, it's been a life changer. I don't know why, but Vaseline.
All right, can you use Vaseline as your eye cream? Well, the answer is yes. I love Vaseline. We use it in wound healing, we use it post-surgically, and you can use it for slugging anywhere on the face. But when we're starting to put it under the eyes, this is going to be great to help lock in the moisture that your skin has. Vaseline itself doesn't push any moisture into the skin, but it stops your skin from losing water. But most people are going to do really well with this. And she says that she uses it under her eyes. And if you have sensitive skin, you may have found that no matter how many different eye products you have tried, they just don't work for you. They cause irritation. Your eyes don't feel good. This would be a good option just to lock in the hydration and to help to fight the appearance of lines, wrinkles, dark circles by really just allowing your skin to function the way that it needs to.
And then if I have is it a pimple, anything that I feel like coming, I have this, it's prescribed to me, and I've had it for a really long time, but it's the Epo Duo Forte, and I do not put it all over my face. My dermatologist told me to put it all over my face in high school, and my face reacted terribly. And then I just started doing spot treatment, and that changed the game for me. So
Epo Duo Forte has two different ingredients in it. One of those is adapalene. Adapalene 0.3 0.3%. So 0.3% is only by prescription now. You can get 0.1% adapalene over the counter. The brand name is different. La Roche-Posay also makes one, but this is a little bit stronger and it's still only available by prescription. However, Epiduo Forte, that duo in the name, also contains benzoyl peroxide. Although benzoyl peroxide is available over the counter, this is a micronized form and it's specifically formulated to play nice with adapalene. So they're in the same bottle, they're chemically stable, and you're getting two ingredients here that help to fight acne. So you can also get some benefit from adapalene by using it as a spot treatment, but I think in general you'll get the most mileage from it by using it all over. But she made an adjustment in her skincare routine that seems to work best for her, and I say that's a good decision, even though it's an atypical use or a non-traditional use for that ingredient adapalene. It's working well for her. I would encourage her to keep doing it.
I know some people say put it all over your face, but I do not. So if I have, right now I have like the little ones up there.
So she thinks she's got a little pimple coming here. She puts it on. It's going to help to shut that down.
Then, to top everything off, I use the LANEIGE lip sleeping mask. I have
this is really popular
because I love them all, but right now I'm addicted to the vanilla. So
this is just going to help to hydrate the lips before you go to bed. Again, you could use plain Vaseline here also, but this is a really popular product. People like the flavor, so again, there's a little fragrance in there, and if you have bad perioral dermatitis, you may not tolerate it, but she's doing well with it. No issues with the routine at this point.
I generously apply to my lips. I also, it's just a nice little ad, but I sleep with perfume on because I like to smell good. So I also
add a little perfume.
It
works for her. As a dermatologist, I generally say avoid fragrance, especially if you have skin sensitivity, but she's doing okay with it. So what do I think about this routine overall? She has a good gentle cleanser. She removes her makeup carefully. She's applying nice moisturizers. She has a good exfoliating solution that she uses about once a week. That works for her. She's following it up with a sleeping mask, a lip mask, and then a little Vaseline right where she needs it under the eyes. This is an excellent routine. Although the LANEIGE products can be a little bit more expensive, you can find less expensive products, but the key is finding something that works for you and using it consistently. So as a dermatologist, does Sydney Sweeney's skincare routine pass the test? Yes, it does. I would recommend this skincare routine if you have skin like hers. If you want to know what products would be best for you, tell me a little bit about your skin type in the comments and I'll try to make product recommendations there. I can't give medical advice, so don't ask me about skin conditions, but if you have product questions, I'll do my best to answer those in the comments. And if you guys want to see me take people into the stores and buy them a skincare routine, check out that playlist on my channel because I've been doing that a lot and I think you'll be surprised at some of the products that we're buying. Let me know if you have questions. Thank you for staying till the end of the video and watching as I reviewed Sydney Sweeney's skincare routine. I'll see you guys on the next video.